Right, good afternoon folks, welcome to this week's video. So absolute glorious day here today. We're in Essex at the moment. I've literally just finished a training course with work, and we're going to be driving 4.5 hours up to North Wales, and this weekend we're going to be taking part in the Packraft paddling course by Tirio. Right then, good morning. Here we are at Capel Garman here in North Wales. So we are out on a 4-day packrafting course here with Tirio. So this is the start of the course here, so we're just about to go in for our meetup and just see what we're getting up to. So like I say, it's a 4-day excursion that we're doing here, and it's basically an introduction into packrafting and to just sort of show you the skills that you needed to paddle some whitewater. So without further ado, let's get inside and see what's going on.
So it's about knowing what you can do and what you can't do. So when you go ahead and paddle and you plan your journeys, you plan them to your own capabilities. You can always build from there. What we don't want to do is anyone going out here and going, I can do anything, and then have a complete epic and an accident, right? That's not what we want, okay? A couple of other features that are worth looking at on this boat. I'm going to point these out now, all right? And now we've started to introduce the rocker to the boat. So the bow's upturned, and the stern is slightly as well. Difference as well, we've got an elevated seat position. That's to give us a better paddling position. We'll look more at that. But this now, they're really starting to think about the design because it's thin. It's a lot thinner than most of the Packrafts. And the bow on it, if you look, it's quite pointed and upturned. So it's designed not to be kind of stalled by those bigger waves, okay, on the river. Packraft paddle length should be not much different than if you were kayaking. What you've got to do is learn to paddle well. The most common hole I found in a Packraft is a pinhole, and it will generally occur on a thorn or a rose tree or something like that. Can't qualify as a repair kit if you don't have tie wraps in it, right? Without zip locks, it's not a repair kit.
So great introduction there to the course there. So we've literally just gone through all the different types of boats, gone through all of the equipment that we're going to use. We've looked at repairs, we've looked at what we're actually going to get done for the rest of the course there. So we're just going to pop outside now and have a look at packing a gear to the equipment list that's in the pack that we're given.
What I'd like you to do, and I'd suggest that you do it with a partner or you guys as a three, is pack for this afternoon. So we need to have our kit sorted and packed to go.
Right, so gear all packed up, so I just borrowed a dry suit off them and a new paddle because I've only brought my cheap paddle with me. So we're just going to pack up the van. We're going to head down to the lake now. We're going to get out on the lake, and what an absolute cracking day it is today for us. So I'll see you when we get down to the lake.
Outfitting our boat, if we're attaching things to our boat, the question is why? We don't want anything that's going to get in our way when we're out on the water, and in particular if we're trying to get back in our boat or conduct a rescue.
All set up, some great bit of advice and everything been given there. So just going to get the boat in, and then we're going to start our day on the water.
What it doesn't want to be doing is doing this in the water, flexing as we're paddling. It needs to be as rigid as possible, right? That's what we want. That was good, that's good. Drifting, you guys. Still drifting down the lake. Go get him, go get him.
Right.
Go get him.
Forget your boat. Alright, just swim to me and grab the front of the boat. Put your feet down, grab the front of the boat, sit feet underneath the raft. Right, got a paddle to shore.
A lot of drag, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of drag. Right, feet right at the bottom there.
Yeah, they're right up.
You should be able to feel the bottom now. Are you there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Lovely.
Get him to keep hold of your boat and paddle in until you know they're all right, okay?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Look at that. That was ever a graceful swim. Let go of your boat then, Ellen.
There's the money shot.
So we've just done some water rescues now. So we've done some in-water rescues, as you can see here, where we're literally just hopping out of the raft and just swimming over to our partner's raft and then just paddling ourselves to the shore where we can stand up and then get back in the boat that way. And then the second version that we're doing here is a deep water entry back into the boat, which is slightly bit different to getting into a kayak or something like that. You know, if you ever been scuba diving and you've dived in ribs and things like that, it's basically the same sort of principle as that, and flicking your butt round and getting yourself back into your pack raft.
That was an absolute cracking afternoon, and you know, I must say, I've never ever done any of those self-rescues at all, whether it's assisted, whether it's self-rescue, or you know, pushing yourself back onto the shore. And it's bad in a way, really, but I've never ever needed to do anything like that, and it just, coming on this course has really just shown me the importance of actually doing this stuff under instruction as well, to make sure that you've got the skills that you need. You know, we all say we're not going to fall in and that, but you know, if you end up falling in, you're going to need to be able to get back into your boat. But really good day, really enjoyed myself today. So we're just going to get out of this stuff now, pack the boats up, and we shall head back to Matt's for this evening and get some food down our necks because we're absolutely starving, and we shall catch you tomorrow. Right, morning guys, here we are, another beautiful day in North Wales. So we're out on day 2 of our Packraft Paddlers course with Tirio. Yesterday we had a great day out there, learnt loads of things yesterday. Couple of pointers from yesterday is 2 things that I took away from yesterday is 1, really could do with the dry suit, and 2, something so simple as this, which is a paddle leash. Yeah, last thing you want is to get separated from your packraft and your paddle. So yeah, something that costs about 8 to 12 quid, definitely recommend getting that. So this morning we basically spent the time looking at planning, and we've been looking at things like, you know, thinking about wind, thinking about tides, and thinking about the weather as well. So we spent a bit of time sort of looking at these things that are going to affect your paddling experience and your planning and things like that. We've got a trip coming up on Tuesday, so that's be on day 4, where we've been looking at planning that trip ourselves. So we come up with 3 options. Now there's a bit of wind that's forecast to come in on Tuesday, so we've actually had to utilize that into the planning and come up with 3 options of what we possibly could do. Obviously none of those are set in stone because it's all down to the conditions and the weather. So today we're back up on the lake where we were yesterday. Today we're going to be looking at sailing and utilizing a sail to propel yourself along in your packraft. So without further ado, I'm going to get down there, get my packraft all set up, and get back out on the water.
speed style. Right, ready? Okay, I want you to pay attention in particular to my top hand and whereabouts it is in front of my body, right? So cruising up. How high is my top hand against my body? Ready? I want you to move your body 50 meters. 50 meters sideways. Simple. Nice and simple.
Okay, here we go.
So the first little thing we've got to do is learn to make the boat go in a straight line. Too many years. Twist your paddle a bit now. Right, so that way. Look at that, look at that,
Yeah.
look at that. There you go. It's like when you open a grandfather clock on Tom and Jerry, right? Boing, right, that's what it does, right? Here you go. If I want to go faster, bring the sail up. If I want to slow down, I let the sail fall so it catches less air. Well, it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to have to attach it, and I'm going to show you something else in a second, mate. That will work. Leave a little bit. So with an umbrella, okay, here we go, look. That there, that's maximum speed. That's the best you'll get, right that, okay? The next slower is that. That's the next slower, so that's the next slower gear. Then, it's this. And if you think about it, it's the shape of the umbrella shedding the air, right? Right now, it's going round me, isn't it? It's flowing off the umbrella.
So that's us all done for today. So we've just been given all the gear for the paddling tomorrow when we're hitting some white water tomorrow on the River Dee, I believe. So yeah, buoyancy aids, helmets and all of that malarkey. So really looking forward to that. It's something I've never ever done before. So this course is specifically designed to sort of allow you to sort of paddle grade 1 at a push grade 2 water. So really looking forward to that. Loads and loads of stuff learned today. Who would have thought an umbrella? Absolute brilliant. That's definitely something that's going in my kit list. Right, morning. So absolute brilliant day yesterday. So after our day of paddling yesterday, we came up mountain, shall we say, to a little reservoir up here, parked the vans up, done a bit of fishing. Absolute brilliant. Fantastic to catch some brilliant wild Welsh brown trout. Really good. So today we're heading down to the River Dee, so it's literally downhill, or shall I say down mountain, because old Gino the Campo struggled to get up here last night. And we're doing some whitewater paddling today, so this is sort of an introduction to whitewater paddling. So we're going to be paddling sort of grade 1, maximum grade 2 under instruction. And I think realistically, doing this course, it's just shown me that, you know, you can't come out with a pack raft and go straight onto white water and expect to paddle grade 1 to grade 2 if you've never done anything like it before. It's really important to get a bit of instruction and a bit of sort of leadership when you're doing this in a pack raft for the first time. And I can't reiterate enough through this video that, you know, if you've brought yourself a pack raft, it's really worth coming on a course like this just to sort of just show you what you're doing and just sort of give you a bit of teaching and a bit of learning on all the different methods and ways with pack rafting. You know, I've been paddling pack rafts for about 3 years, and you know, I thought I was quite sort of competent with it as well, but I have absolutely picked up tons and tons of stuff through the instruction of Jason and Marianne on this course. Anyway, let's get the van all packed up and let's get down mountain and down to the River Dee.
We're going to get on. It's a couple of 100 meters down the hill, so it's not far away. Nice easy walk down the grass, so that's fine. And then the river goes off down the valley. this valley's got loads of old industrial history, so there's lots of little weirs and things as we go along, and old industrial buildings.
So all kitted up, all whitewater gear on, just heading down to the River Dee. Apparently it is a little bit low at the moment, but we're going to get in and do a bit of an introduction to whitewater paddling.
Got the ability to put a bag behind us. It'll make us a little bit more cramped in our raft than we normally would, but actually we want our legs more bent, we want to be more upright. All right, pack rafters are really bad for getting really comfortable. All right, and that's okay in a touring environment. It's not going to be as efficient, but it's okay.
Right, so all set up. So we've got a helmet on, we've got a whitewater PFD. The configuration on the boat set up quite a little bit different today. So I've got my actual bag with all my lunch and all my bits and bobs sitting behind myself in a dry bag. So yeah, all set up. First time using the thigh straps, first time using a bit of whitewater. So we've got something else to think of just in case of capsize, which is obviously thinking about pulling the thigh straps off. But anyway, let's get into the water and see how it is.
You're right. Yeah. Good. On your front, swim to the side. Swim to the side. Can we see an eddy at the bottom? No. To get to here, we've walked what? 20, 30 metres, all right? And we get a much better view. We can get much more information about exactly what's going on all the way down this rapid, and we can see what's going on behind it as well.
Right then, here we go. So we just got out of the water here just to have a look from further downstream, so we can see what the actual rapid looks like as we're going down there. We've decided our route, we've decided which way we're going to paddle. We're all going to go in one group, so let's see how this goes.
Nearly. You're alright. Get fooled into sometimes looking, going, oh yeah, I can't quite see, but hey diddle diddle straight down the middle. Alright? It's grade 2 rapid, it is quite rocky, there's quite a lot going on. Alright? And we didn't all get our lines. That's white water. Alright? It doesn't always go to plan.
Well, it's been really interesting, really interesting. First section, it's probably about a grade 2. I nearly went over, but I think if I didn't have my thigh straps on, I probably would have gone over, to be honest. But yeah, and it just shows you it's all about experience and knowledge, really, on just reading the water and making your lines and planning and just making sure that you're happy with where you're going and what you're doing, really. But yeah, really enjoyed this so far.
As you leave the eddy,
yeah,
if you keep the raft at a more acute angle, so you're pointing more uphill than you are
directly across, was I?
Yeah.
Right, okay,
So
yeah.
pointing more uphill,
yeah,
and then allow it to turn however much you need it to.
Yeah.
But at that point, stop it with your paddle.
Right, okay.
And you'll lose less ground. So even when we know a river, we need to treat it with respect, and we're only going to commit to things that we've seen on the day that we know are okay.
Definite knack to all of this, but I must say mainly tuition and experience. I'm just going to eddy over for this set of rapids here. It is, like I say, the river's really, really low, so it's a lot of rock bumping. I get the feeling I'll be going in on this one.
Yeah?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm glad I've done that, to be honest, because I was over here. Well, I said that was going to happen. Better get some lottery numbers tonight, I think. Bit cooler now. I'm starting to get a bit warm. Right, so there we go. So that is the end of day 3. Really enjoyed myself doing this little sort of introduction into whitewater here with Tirio up in North Wales. Been absolutely brilliant. Okay, I did take a dunk in the water, but you know, you're not learning unless you're falling in. And my excuse is I've never paddled any whitewater before. You know, coming from Suffolk, we've got no whitewater at all unless there's a boat passing past on the Broads. But yeah, so we're just talking about tomorrow's day. So tomorrow is all weather dependent. So we're just going to meet up in the morning and we shall go from there. Right, morning, here we are, day 4, final day of the Packraft Paddlers course here in North Wales with Tirio, and final paddle. So we're paddling a section of the river today. We had 3 sort of options all put together, and after a little discussion this morning, it's this section that we're doing here. So we're paddling from a place that I can't pronounce to a place that I can't pronounce as well, but it's a section of the river. Over at Will's mum's over there, it looks fairly cloudy. The clouds are moving pretty quick and a bit grey on the top there, but so far the weather's held out for us today, so it's basically going to be a bit of a suck it and see as we paddle down the river. So we're just going to set up here. We've got a short walk down to the river, and we'll catch you there. on the corner of this river here for a bit of a lunch break. So we're in the estuary part of the river, as you can see by all of the seaweed and whatnot growing around here. So it's yeah, wind's picked up a tiny bit, but we're still sort of in the lee where we are at present. So it's really quite nice where we are here. So just get some lunch down the next and start again.
So I'll go down with one other person to the get out, and we'll get 2 of us out, so that's sorted, and then we'll call the next ones down. There's a little spot we can get the group together, and we'll call you down, just so that we don't end up with a mud fest and it being awkward or being blown off away from where we're trying to get out.
We just had a bit of a discussion there about whether we could continue further down to the river, just where it widens out to Conwy. But obviously, as it all widens out down there, you've got a lot of wind coming through there, and we've found a little bit of wind so far, but not masses. But as it opens up down there, it has been decided that we're going to get out just around the corner there, so we're about 10-15 minutes away from our get out. So it has been an absolute fantastic day paddling down here today. Really enjoyed it. Great to get on a bit of tidal water and a complete different environment compared to very flat Norfolk and Suffolk that I'm used to. And you know, coming out here to do this course has massively opened my eyes, and I think realistically it's shown me that I don't know everything about packrafting, especially whitewater. You know, yesterday was the first day in whitewater for me, and yeah, I took a bit of a sink, took a bit of a swim, and but that is what it is, you know, and you learn by your mistakes. But it's also very important to realise that it's always best to learn by your mistakes when you're being instructed, and you've got these guys around you that actually know what to do, know how to rescue, and you've got the guidance from them as well. But anyway, as the sun shines, I think we shall make our way further down the river.
I have it. Okay, I have. So use the stones. Can I give this to you, Tim? Is that okay? I got it.
Right, so that's the van all packed up, just need to get some fuel. We're in Betwys-y-Coed at the moment, so we've just done all the paperwork for the end of the course and everything here. It's been an absolute cracking 4 days here with Tirio in North Wales down the Packraft Paddlers course. I've learnt tons, I've really enjoyed it. A couple of things that actually stick out for me is using the sail for packrafting, never thought of that, and also that little taster of whitewater that we done yesterday. That's basically given me that push excuse me, to come away and do the whitewater course with them as well. It's absolutely brilliant, really enjoyed it. So if you've got a packraft, I would definitely recommend you get yourself on one of these 4 days courses with Tirio, and it's amazing what you'll actually pick up and what you'll take away from it as well to make you a more safer and experienced packrafter. So I'll stick a link to all of the courses from Tirio in the description below. So thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've had a cracking time out here. It's been absolutely brilliant. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button just there, and as always, a couple of videos for you to take a look at, and we'll see you next time on the next one.